Hey, so in this video, we want to talk about just a couple good tips or lessons that we've learned so far about caravanning. And this is the second time we've caravanned.
Yes.
And this isn't like we're a 50 coach caravan. This is there's just two couples caravanning this summer. But what we learned from the last caravan, we carried over to this one. And so in this video, we're going to talk about some of the things that are making this a super fun caravan and things that you guys might want to consider if you're planning on caravanning. So one of the first tips that we would suggest in considering caravanning is plan real early, especially plan early and decide what kind of caravan it's going to be.
Right.
Knowing who you're traveling with and the style of travel is super important, because from the time that we got here to the time that we break off of the caravan, it's all full of hookups and it's all about seeing sights.
Having fun.
Yep. What you making?
Soup. Coffee.
Soup. It's 9 o'clock in the morning and
It's pleasant outside today. It's not.
Yeah, it's already 90.
It's our last full day here.
88 degrees.
Yeah, our last full day.
Last full day in Kansas City, and then we head on to our second stop on this caravan, which brings me to our next point, and that is space. You need to agree on space. You need to agree that you don't need to be together 24 hours a day,
Right.
7 days a week. When you want to go back to your rig, you go back to your rig. Nobody gets upset. Everybody's an adult. If you don't want to go to this sightseeing or that sightseeing or whatever, that's fine too.
Right.
So give yourself some space. You're going to enjoy the caravan
Oh,
a
a
lot
whole
more.
lot more. Yes.
Yeah. So we're down here at the Kansas City Market after riding the streetcar.
Pretty interesting.
Pretty good experience so far. Let's see what we can find.
Okay.
Do you realize from my supply strange motions, like a shift in the flow, a change?
So it seems as though every time we hang out with these two, we gotta get ice cream.
Oh,
You
you wanted it.
Okay. Well, that's beside the point. I didn't want it, but Coeur d'Alene, Spokane. So we ducked into the air conditioning again, getting us a little ice cream while we're waiting on the next trolley to take us back up toward Union Station.
Yeah.
And you got what?
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
Chocolate chip cookie dough and a little bit of mint chocolate chip. Right what we needed on a day like today. It's what, 92 degrees? With like 1,000,000% humidity.
Yeah.
Typical Kansas City weather.
Searching for a sea, someone
20,000 jelly beans. 150 hours.
like a shift in the flow, a change coming.
So I thought we would just quickly explore this planning thing again. I think it's super important that we stay hydrated in the planning phase. No, planning. So one of the things with this caravan that we had a complete plan, and then plans change.
Right.
So we had to be flexible, and we changed our plan. But one of the things that we did was the four of us decided what we wanted to see. It wasn't one person deciding everything, and we also left room in case people didn't want to see stuff. We've got down, like today is a complete
Down day.
down day. Laundry's getting done today, cleaning the rigs are getting done today, because we're moving tomorrow. So we have planned down days, and I think that is super important. But when we sat down and planned, we planned a couple things. We planned our route based on attractions that we wanted to see, based on where we needed to end up,
Right.
because our caravan is going to split, and we're going to go north and they're going to go south. So we wanted a good location that wouldn't create too much travel for both of us going in the directions we were going.
Right, and it's places I've never been. I think Dustin and Leslie have been there before,
Yeah,
so I was excited about that.
yeah,
But I wouldn't have cared wherever we went.
yeah. So I can't reiterate enough the idea that you need to make sure that you're caravanning with the right people.
Yeah, because if you're not, it makes for an uncomfortable
Yeah.
trip, ride.
Everybody needs to be on board with the plan. Everybody needs to be on board with the idea that, like we just said, you don't need to be together 24 hours a day. Everybody needs to be on board with the fact that we all need a little space, and we all have desires, of what it is that we want to see and do while we're spending our essentially summer vacation, So I think it's super important that if you don't have compatibility, then I would steer clear of making a commitment to spend an entire summer.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Maybe a weekend.
you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
You're not going to have fun. Unapologetically, we say that because the whole idea of RVing and all of this is to go out and have fun. So we just got everything hooked up. And another tip on travel days or whatever, just let people do their own routine and stick to your routine.
Right.
Just because somebody does it a different way doesn't mean you got to do it that way. So stick to your routine.
Unless they ask you to help, right?
Right, but I'm saying we have our way of doing things,
Right.
and they have their way of doing things, which is totally right.
Right.
Everything that they do is absolutely correct. Everything that we do is correct. So just let it go. Okay.
Let it go.
All right, we're about to head south. Okay, so our final tip for caravanning, and this is all based on what we know. This isn't written down in a book somewhere. We're just totally making this shit up. But the final thing that we know, if you want to have a really good, fun caravan, is...
Drum roll, please.
Oh, you don't remember what it was?
Doing it with the people you like the best.
No.
Good guess, but actually no.
Budget.
Oh.
You need to budget your time, and you need to make sure that you have a reasonable financial expectation, because you're going to go into vacation mode, and you're going to go into the five and dime, and you're going to spend more than you wanted to in a five and dime because you ran into a whole bunch of Cubs stuff. At the five and dime, we ran into a whole Cubs section here. I'm getting a key lanyard. But no, you want to make sure that you budget your time, because like in this one, we have multiple legs. We're caravanning all over the Midwest.
So we have lots of stops to.
Yeah, lots of stops, but you want to make sure that you're spending the right amount of time at each spot. You don't want to overextend, but you don't want to leave out something also, right?
Right.
And then also, we have a timeline to get back to the Northwest. So we want to make sure, that we're getting the best bang for our buck, right? And speaking of the buck, you need to make sure that you've accounted for gas and, other expenses. We've eaten out more in the last 2 weeks so far in this caravan than we ever do at home, right? And that starts adding up. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as you
Budget.
know that that's part of the
Budget.
deal and budget. Okay, well, we hope these tips have been helpful for you. Don't forget to share the video with a friend, like and subscribe, and do all that stuff. And we will see you on Sunday.